Hello, Oracles. What a wild day today. I'm still feeling kind of under the weather. I showed up to work this morning and there was no power due to an accident when a car hit a power pole. End of the day rolls around. My guys at work found a kitten out back behind the building, so I was carrying this around all day. And then its mother showed back up, so I got to give it back. Oh, and the stock market was all over the place. So what seemed like a potential bottom this morning could be. Let's see how tomorrow trades, because this morning everything was just collapsing. Seemed like a lot of margin calls were going through. I mean, Tesla was down to 680. We are still finishing lower and lower in the NASDAQ, the SPY, the Dow. So not a lot of recovery, but intraday we fell very hard and then came back up. When I look at Tesla in particular, I want to apologize because previously I had been speaking about 700 as being the low, and it is a number that I'm paying attention to, but that was the intraday low. The lowest close that we had previously was 764. So technically, we have had a lower low close, which is not a good sign. However, bouncing off of 680 like we did today gives me faith and hope that we are going to be climbing back out of this. But it also means that we may bounce up and come back down even lower in the future. Not necessarily having to happen, but based on technical charts and how dead cat bounces go, that would be the direction that we are moving. So again, just waiting to see how this is all playing out. But today I think was a good sign. Even though we did technically finish in the red for Tesla, we rebounded, came way back up to 760, and then fell back down and closed at 728. Looking at the RSI across the board, NASDAQ, looking at the QQQ, the SPY, Tesla, we're all right around 30 or 31. 30 is oversold. We are very, very low. We are due to turn around. That's usually the signal. Again, we don't have to do it, but historically, when you fall under it, that's when you rebound. That's when we rebounded back in February and started to come back up in March. And the volume in Tesla today was significantly higher than normal, around 46 million shares trading hands. So same holds true for the SPY and the QQQ. Volume was a little bit higher than normal. So these are all very good signs when we saw that rebound and recovery midday. And then we sold off a little bit, and then we did go rally a little bit into close. Another good sign going into Friday. Now with Friday coming around, we occasionally get that Friday fade. But again, as long as we close above 700 in Tesla, I think that's going to be a very good sign. And we'll see how we move into close tomorrow, because that could give us a good indication as to how we can move on Monday. And then after hours, we got a firm coming out with earnings, beating expectations, up over 50% after hours. So that's huge. Let me know if any of you guys got in when it was around $14 and change, because I thought about buying in to lower my cost basis, but I've got 5 shares that are averaged around $79, so I am deep in the hole on a firm right now. And to me, it's one of the ones that I'm okay with long term, but I don't really want to sink any more money into it. The amount of money I would have had to spend to bring it down even close to getting profitable was not worth it for me. I would rather invest that money into Tesla or save it as cash on the sidelines for something else in the future. So I did not dive in, but let me know if you guys did, because 50% gain after hours is massive, and you could have definitely turned your portfolio around if you took that gamble. And there are a lot of good buys sitting around out there right now. Enphase is back down around 140. Airbnb is down around 115, which is the lowest it has been since it IPO'd, so this is very low. Apple is coming down significantly as well, so lots of great buys out there. My only concern is, again, inflation is still very high. The PPI came in today. Most of the stuff was in line or beat expectations, which was a good sign, but again, it is still very high inflation. So looking at where we're at with inflation, still high, potential recession talks going on. Janet Yellen said that she is confident in the Fed being able to land us softly and not put us into a recession. So, we have a lot of confidence coming from high names telling us these things, but the market is not so sure about it. So again, if right now we are pricing in worst case scenario, right now the market is pricing in the fact that they don't think the Fed is going to pull this off. They think that the Fed is going to have to raise rates faster than expected. They think that we are going to go into a recession. They think that inflation is still going to be running away from us. This is all of the fear that is getting priced in. Now, we are up for a potential regime change over in China. Normally over in China, they have 2 5-year terms that they serve. And currently right now, it is time for a regime change. So we are waiting to hear that. A lot of the people over there are getting frustrated with all of the lockdowns. So they are pushing for change. Seems like this might potentially happen, and that could alleviate a lot of these supply chain issues. Again, we still have to wait and see what happens, but this could be positive news going forward. So if we get any surprises to the positive side and inflation comes down a lot faster than we expect, or we get the GDP numbers probably coming late July, early August, that we did not go into a recession over these 2 quarters, then we could probably see a strong rally because the market right now is assuming the worst. They assume that we are going to get very bad news, we are going to be in a recession, and we're going to have extended long-term inflation. Now, many of you in the comments have reiterated this. You have been saying this from the beginning, and so far we are trending in that direction. And going back to that massive dead cat bounce that we were talking about, again, this is why I'm paying attention to where we are closing. With the SPY, the QQQ, and Tesla, we did close lower than those lows that we had back in February. You know, Apple is coming down. There's talks of Apple falling to 126 or 128, and that's still quite a ways to go, especially for a company the size of Apple. So still a lot to play with. Again, right now, cash and cash flow generation to me is the way to go. You've got to be agile. You've got to just pay attention to what the market gives you. Today, I was able to get into Tesla, 3 buys under 700, and one of them was right at 680, which was the bottom of the day. So will we go below that? Who knows? It's totally possible. But as of right now, for the day, I was lucky enough to be able to grab that bottom. And we did still have crypto crashing early this morning with the entire market as well. That did rebound nicely and then trailed off a little bit, but settled higher than it was this morning. So it seems like we started to move back up across crypto and the entire market. Let's see if this continues. Again, I'm taking things day by day because I do not know what's happening. And so for me, I'm going to pay attention to a clear signal that we're turning around, which will be probably tomorrow. If tomorrow, and then especially Monday, we show 2 days of green, I will probably add a little bit more and then hold because I don't know. I do still anticipate that we're probably going to come down again. But if the bottom that we hit is where we're at now, then I think we're going to see maybe the slow climb out of this, or when we come down to the bottoms again, this is going to be the solid bottom. Still lots of uncertainties, but these are just the places that I'm paying attention to when I'm going to be investing. Let me know in the comments below, did you guys take advantage of any of the fire sale specials that we had going on early this morning? Or do you think that we are going to fall further and you just nibbled a little bit and you're waiting for that deeper drop before you add more? Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. Thank you so much. Have a great one.